Welcome to Messy Liberation, the podcast that dives deep into feminism, business, and personal growth. I'm Becky Mollenkamp.
And I'm Taina Brown. Get ready for another messy conversation through the eyes of two intersectional feminist coaches.
Let's get messy.
Morning.
Hello.
I feel like my voice sounds kind of, I've got some congestion going on.
Can't tell, but that doesn't mean that you sound the same to me. First, I love it when somebody says, like, you don't look well or you don't sound well when you're not.
I said that to you the other day.
No, but I knew my husband said it too. I knew I was looking, I don't know what that was. But when you're feeling fine and somebody's like, you don't look like you're feeling well. You're like, okay, but I feel fine. What does that mean? Anyway, but you sounded your same to me.
Okay. All right.
New year.
So it's the first episode of the new year.
Technically, we're still recording this in 2020.
We're recording this on December. What's the date? Oh,
yeah, you can tell the people. Now they're gonna know just how old it is.
Behind the curtain.
Transparency. That's part of our way of showing up as feminists.
So let's start out with the pressures of the new year, because I feel like that's
New year, new you.
God, I hate that.
Yeah, because it's such a marketing cliche that gets used in any space. And you know what? I think watching for New Year, New You is a really great tell for something that's deeply oppressive. Because it's always something that is being made into a problem to make money from you.
Yeah, to sell you something.
All the time, because I was watching something talking about face lifts or whatever, cosmetic surgery. It was some ad for some cream or who knows what that helps women reduce their desire to have cosmetic surgery because it makes their skin look better or whatever. And I thought, I got pissed off because I'm like, your skin is what it is. Like, yes, keep it hydrated, do things to
take care of it, but like
care for anything. Yeah. But like, you're going to have, it was about wrinkle reduction. And I'm like, you're going
to have wrinkles.
That's called gravity. And it just happens, right? And it's like gravity. I mean, it's caused by kind of like by gravity and weighing down on you. And it's fucking normal. Every human who lives long enough, who has the privilege of living long enough, has wrinkles. Wrinkles should be a mark of privilege. Like, I'm like, oh my God, I am living long enough to have wrinkles. Amazing. But no, capitalism, turn it into a problem that it can sell you a solution to, solve. Anyway, sell you a solution.
Yeah.
And that is that New Year, New You stuff to me. Mm-hmm. Anywhere where capitalism can find something that's not a problem,
make it a problem,
a personal problem that you then
so they can sell you something. Yeah.
Whether it's weight or how you look or your, mindset, like in all of these personal development, personal body spaces, that New Year, New You gets thrown around.
Yeah.
And while I say it's fucking stupid and annoying, it also creates pressure. It does get to me. Like, I'm not going to lie and say that as I'm coming in on 52 and having more wrinkles that I don't sometimes look at them and feel some way. Or living in the world we're living in right now where hyper skinny is back in. Which,
God.
Yeah. I just saw pictures, like, it's not body judgment, but I don't know if you've seen pictures of Kelly Osbourne lately, but you wouldn't even know that she's Kelly Osbourne, meaning Kelly Osbourne's daughter, in case you don't know who she is. But they were back on that, like, they were one of the first reality shows that Osbourne.
Yeah.
And I think of her, and now granted, she's aged, all of that. She's also been public, I think, about doing Ozempic, and that's fine. And she is rail thin. Like, the reminders of all of the really scary stuff in the 90s that you endured in our formative years is back.
Yeah.
The vengeance.
Yeah.
And I can't lie and say that stuff, I do look at my wrinkles. I do look at my fat. I do look at things and sometimes feel like, and it is a constant battle to not succumb to that pressure.
It is. By the time this airs, because my birthday is at the end of December.
You're 6 days after your birthday.
It'll be 6 days after my birthday, yeah. I will have just turned 44. And most days I don't feel my age. Actually, no, I was talking.
Nobody feels their age, I've discovered, by the way.
Yeah. Like, on the inside, you don't really feel your age. Your body might feel
50 or 45 or 40. You think you feel a certain way, and they don't.
Yeah.
It's just another day.
Yeah, it is. It is. And I was FaceTiming with one of my wife's cousins last night. She's 17 and she calls me her her 43-year-old bestie.
Nice.
But she was talking about, getting older. And I was like, she was like, yeah, when I'm older and like when I'm in my 40s, I'm not going to want to be that age. And I'm like, I actually enjoy being in my 40s. Like
The 40s were the best.
outside of how my body feels sometimes. Like I feel like the most like myself. But last week I was like laying down on the couch or something and I noticed like some looseness in my neck for the first time. And I was like, oh my God, what's happening here?
I'm developing jowls, right? Like, cause your face starts, it's the,
Yeah,
it's
it starts
up,
to it starts
and it starts to
to
lay down
sag.
and
Yeah.
I can see this like pretty much.
Okay, stop doing that. You're freaking me out.
Well, but it starts to happen. And you do notice those things that it is hard to not, whether it's the aches and pains that just come with aging and are frustrating. And it's hard to not get frustrated with your body because it feels like the body is defying you.
Yeah, it feels like it's turning against you.
Yeah. And it's also hard not to look at the things that society tries to tell us are wrong. Like, because wrinkles don't hurt, by the way. They don't.
No.
But there's a difference between like the aches and pains of aging. Those are frustrating on their own for its own reason. And yet they are normal and we have to learn to accept. But like wrinkles and jowls and loose skin or what, those things don't hurt. They're just hard to get used to because we live in a world where people with means will do whatever it takes to get rid of those things. You have somebody who, I mean, I'm not surprised Kelly Osbourne looks like she does because if you look at her mom, who's like, I think nearing 80, has had so much work done. You know, again, we all have to make the choices we want to make. I think I get why women do it, right?
Yeah.
So I don't want to shame people for doing the things, but it is frustrating because it contributes to the rest of us having this pressure in a way to feel like we now have to look a certain way.
Yeah. Yeah. I was like, when I noticed like the looseness in my neck, I was like, oh my God, should I be getting extra products? Like, should I be paying more attention to what's happening here? Yeah, I'm just like, oh, tighten it up,
the exercises that I'm sure don't work.
But then I was like, you know what? It's like, this is normal. Well, what am I doing? This is normal. And I remember when they were doing a lot of promotion for last year for the first part of Wicked, which if you haven't seen it, please do.
Second part or the first part?
Both. They're stunning. They're so stunning.
It pisses me off that they took what should have just been one movie and made it two, to the point where I'm like, I don't even want to see either.
Well, because it's stage plays are long, especially Wicked.
I've seen Wicked, the production on stage, and it was not 2 movies worth of time. We didn't have to have like an intermission. It's not.
Stage.
Listen, I have my.
This is a different conversation.
Ariana Grande annoys
This is a different conversation, but stage stuff doesn't translate well to movie stuff. So you gotta add some zhuzh to the movie, which extends it. And there was original music for the movie. So anyway, but when they were doing like promotional stuff for the first part, I just remember my wife and I being like, Ariana's so skinny.
Very.
Like, what's going on with her? But then, here's the thing. She's always been tiny. She has always been
very small.
Yeah. But
that's why I brought up Kelly Osbourne as somebody where there's a marked difference.
Yeah.
We're seeing a lot of that.
Yeah. But then
it's tough.
We immediately thought of Chadwick Boseman, who right before he passed, and hardly anyone knew what was going on with him, but he had been losing weight and he had gotten really thin. And there was a lot of speculation and criticism about like his body and being so thin. And then he passed and it was like, he had cancer.
Again, another reason I use Kelly Osbourne as an example, because she is somebody who's also been public about it.
Yeah.
Again, in the same way Serena Williams is facing all this backlash around Ozempic, I'm not here to critique if you need to take Ozempic or
take it.
Medication, take medication, right? And whatever the side effects of that medication are, I'm not here to judge that. It's more the pressures.
Yeah, it's the intention, the why behind it.
It's like move back towards how skinny can we get?
Yeah.
And unfortunately, some of that means people are taking medication they don't actually need for any reason. I don't believe that some of these women, I won't even say names, but just some of the famous people we see who are taking Ozempic, I find it very hard to believe that they're all diabetic. And I also find it very hard to believe that their weights were actually causing health issues, right?
Yeah.
You just aren't at the the skinny thing that we are now. I went to the Tony arrivals once when I was in New York City when the Tonys were going on. And so we saw a bunch of celebrities. And one of the people I saw was Claire Danes. Now, this was 20 years ago. So she was much younger than she is now. She's about the same age as me. So she was probably 30. And Claire Danes, lovely. Like, I'm not here to judge her body. I'm not here to judge her. But I will say, like, seeing her step out of the car, my breath was taken away. Not because I was like, oh my God, she's gorgeous. Because it was like seeing a human that thin, right? Where
In
you're
person,
like,
yeah.
your skeleton, it's
you have a visceral reaction. There's like an immediate concern
where you're like, this can't be okay.
Yeah.
And what upsets me is and again, she looks fine now. Like we were just watching The Beast in Me with her, And by the way, her chin quiver deserves an Oscar. I've never seen somebody who can make their chin quiver like she can.
Like on command.
Like independent from anything else. She can. I'm like, how do you? Blown away.
It's like she's got a remote control in her pocket.
Exactly.
Or something.
I don't know that she deserves any Oscars or anything, but her chin deserves all the awards. But anyway, it's not about her. It's just when that becomes a standard and the pressure that it puts on other women.
Yeah.
To feel that you need to look a certain way. And it's both around size of body, shape and size of body, which changes. Yeah. But with each evolution of it, it creates a new, all the people who are getting their BBLs are probably now like, how do I get all this removed? Because now I'm supposed to be as I can be, right? So all of it is hard. And then it's also around like aging.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Supposed to age. Again, these are pressures that are put by far and away more on women than on men.
Yeah. It does happen to men, but it's mostly women. A lot of the marketing.
Yeah.
Like I feel like with men, it's less about products, right? And it's more about like belonging and acceptance.
Well, and their aging becomes, like they look dapper. They look
they're debonair. They're handsome. Yeah.
Men go, the silver fox. Like you don't hear.
You don't call a woman a silver fox.
Never.
Actually, when I was in college, there was a female public safety officer who was older and she had like silver. God, she was fucking gorgeous. College students had such a big crush on her. We're like, there goes the silver fox. Like,
yeah, I loved her. My tensil's growing in. It's still not. This is my fully natural hair. Like I haven't dyed my hair in a decade at this point.
Yeah.
And it's just slow growing, coming out. Yeah. But I'm actually like, because when I first started not coloring, I was like, okay, let's bring on the gray. Let's see what it's going to look like. And now it's been so slow that I'm like, oh, it's going to take a while before I really have that look. But I'm excited to see what that's going to be like.
I love my grays. Yeah. Like I want more grays. Because that's
probably the thing that I'm most comfortable with aging so far.
Yeah, like I fucking earned it. Yeah. Also, it reminds me, it makes me feel close to my grandmother. She didn't go full silver or full gray, but she just had like these, it literally looked like just like tinsel just kind of streaked through her black hair.
Tinsel. It's like you call it. Like, you just see like these, like the light will hit it just right. And you're like,
yes. And it kind of like sparkles a little bit. Yeah. And I just remember always like wanting to comb her hair and her letting me comb her hair and braid her hair and just play with her hair. And I'm just like, I want her hair. I want my grandmother's hair.
I love that you mentioned your grandma because it also makes me think, I remember the softness of my grandmother's body. And it felt like I didn't want my grandma to be like all sticks holding me.
Yeah. Like all angles.
Yeah, there's a softness that when my grandma would envelop me in a hug that felt soft. There was softness to that body and that makes it feel welcoming and warming and like, you want to nuzzle up with that, and I want to remember that for myself too. Like I'm allowed that. Like why? Yeah. I love you baby boomers, but I really think you have fucked us up in a lot of ways.
Oh my God, so much.
He felt like really the first generation that just, for whatever reason, maybe they lived longer. I don't know what it is about baby boomers, but they really reject aging in a way that didn't feel like the greatest generation and the generations before didn't. And so I don't know, I want to bring it back. But I know you're talking about New Year, you don't want to just talk about bodies. It's also business pressures.
Yeah. I wonder if, just real quick about baby boomers rejecting aging, I wonder if it's partially because there's a sense of their youthfulness being stolen because of the war and the Great Depression and and like that.
Well, just to be clear, the Great Depression wouldn't be baby boomers.
Wouldn't it? Am I
only in the most marginal sense of
my head?
when they were like maybe babies. But like my mom is pretty firmly a baby boomer, and she was born in 49
Okay.
or 47,
Okay.
40. But sorry, Mom, whatever. But I mean, yeah, baby boomers, you're talking more the greatest generation that actually
Yeah.
lived through it. Now,
Yeah.
baby boomers still felt the ripples of it for sure.
Yeah.
From
The
their
effects, the
parents,
after effects.
and they
Yeah.
were maybe, coming out of that by the time they were, but yeah, but definitely Vietnam, and that their formative years were spent, losing friends left and right.
Yeah. Yeah.
And them, having their own family members having to go. And so that's interesting to think about. I don't know if my mom would share that or not, but maybe I'll ask her, what is it about you guys that makes you not want to age in a way that you're like, not accept it in the way that your
Yeah.
parents
Yeah.
accept it?
I think a part of it is also cultural, like, because
Yeah.
like,
For sure. I'm definitely talking about white people. I couldn't say beyond that. I just know my experience. And
yeah, I think in general, if you're listening or watching, whenever y'all hear us talk about like people, like we're talking about our people, like the people we're used to being around all the time.
I would hope that people know I wouldn't aim to or ever endeavor to speak for Asian
Yeah.
people, Black people,
Yeah.
and indigenous. I don't know those experiences. So I am always speaking for white people or about white people when I'm talking
Yeah.
about my people. We have a
Yeah.
show, by the way, in St. Louis that's on public TV, like, like public access or whatever. It's called Them Yo People. Them Yo People. And it's hosted by a Black man who's a much older Black man. He wears a crown and he carries a saber, and he shows up at local events. And whenever you see him, you're like, oh my God, there's the Them Yo People guy. And he comes and he goes to a lot of like North County, East County areas that are more predominantly Black often to go to events. But he'll show up at these events that are much more white centric. And they're just like, they don't know what to do with him because he's interviewing people about like just man on the street kind of interviews.
Yeah.
Because the whole thing is like, these people here, like them yo people, them yo
Yeah.
people or whatever. But the white people don't really know what to do because he'll say something like them yo people, and the white people are like, not sure. Am I supposed to
Like, do I
engage?
say it? Do I not say it?
It's my husband loves that guy's show. So speaking of the yo people, them my people. I'm talking about my people.
That's
not,
hilarious.
not yo people. Anyway, now I've lost track of what you're saying. Oh, the differences in aging. Oh, let's talk about business real quick, though, if we can, because I know we want to keep these newer.
This short. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, what pressures are you feeling inside of business? So personally, I'm feeling a lot of pressures around aging, but I don't know if you're feeling some other types of pressures with the new year.
Yeah. I mean, well, one, just to wrap up personal stuff, one thing I've come to realize we've talked a little bit about this, and I've talked about this with like Krishna too, and just like how like looking at your new year in terms of like your astrological chart. And
Yes.
so like
I love that because my new year is my
in the fall.
I'm in Q2 already, just about.
Yeah, exactly. So like, I think whether you use astrology as a framework or something else, right? Like, when do you feel most creative, most alive? Like, let that season of the year be your new year. Like, fuck January. Time is made up anyway.
Babs Chung, who's a feminist astrologer, is the one who introduced me to this idea too of your astrological new year. And she was telling me like the number of people who actually their new year, specifically January 1st, is an incredibly small number. And then have just even January as their astrological new year is still really small. It's like maybe a 12th of the people or something.
Yeah.
That's just not how it is for most people.
Yeah. Yeah. So whatever you're like intuitively or physically feeling January 1st, like just fucking lean into that.
Aren't you more of a fall new year also?
I am also a fall new year. Yeah. So January is not like, that's not my new year. So I don't want to, even before I started thinking about it that way, like years ago, I was like, other than getting a new calendar and just kind of thinking, what do I want? Like, how do I want to feel in December about this year? Like, I don't really do a whole lot of New Year's things. Now for my business, it's a bit different because, it's about what other people need. And so
and we're all responding to a calendar. So you have to some degree, it's kind of like everything else where it's like, you may know that time is a construct and
you still have to be on time for your
doctor's appointment. You get to the doctor's appointment or you're going to end up not getting your appointment, right? Like, so I get that too. Because my new year is a little bit later than the school year, but it's closer. It mirrors more closely a school year than the calendar year. And so I kind of, January has similar feelings to me as it did when I was in school, which is like, okay, I'm kind of like, I'm settled in at this point. I'm so into it. I know the systems. I know the process. I know what I got to do. I'm kind of crushing it. I'm not sick of it yet. Like, I'm not ready for that break. I'm just sort of like, yeah, I'm in it. So that's I'm already almost into that place of like trucking along with my year now. Like, I've kind of got my stride and I know my plans and I'm working on them. So it does feel a little weird when there's all of the like new year or whatever. And I'm like, I guess.
Yeah. New year, same old shit.
Well, that's probably true no matter what. No matter when your new year is. I think that's a definite aging thing too, by the way. It's just like, I get the whole like same different day, same shit sort of feeling of adulting that when you're a kid, you don't understand.
Yeah, it's the Groundhog Day ofness, the Groundhog Day-ness of it. Yeah. Yeah.
God, I say that to my husband all the time. Like, I feel like I'm living in Groundhog Day. Like, adulting is Groundhog Day.
Like every day you're doing dishes, every day you're doing laundry, every day you're putting away, every day you're cooking, every day you're running errands, every day you're vacuuming. Like, it's those little like details that of maintenance that.
Yes, well, every time you think, didn't I just do these dishes yesterday? Like, can I
like,
not?
Why are they in the fucking sink again?
Not have a break? And that's not big. My husband and I both split. It's not about that. It's just like, yeah, all this stuff. The laundry, I think, is one of the ones that for my husband and I both just like, it's just like, it just doesn't, cause sometimes you want to cry. There are days where I'm almost like, I look at the pile of laundry, I almost want to cry. Where it's just like, it never, this will never end. This will all my life. And sometimes when you think about that, it's almost too much where it's just like, seriously, for like forever, this just is there. God, it's
I mean, I won't go on that tangent because that's a
well,
different
there's some of that stuff that I feel about business in some ways too, and I don't know if you do too. Like the need to make money, I guess.
Yeah.
Where it's just like, God, like, can I just did this. Like, I just had a lunch. I just made this offer. I just landed a client, and then you realize like that feeling of like, okay, now I got to do it all. Like,
do it all over again. Yeah.
Like, there's not an end point. And I guess I know, like, we all know that, but it's also kind of frustrating where sometimes you just like want to win the game. Like, I want to win the game of life
and be done.
Right? Like, there's no winning the game of life. And that sounds sort of, I don't mean that in a depressive way of like, I just want life to be over. I just mean like, there's no end point where it feels like so many things that we do, there are like, whatever the things are, I can't think of them at the moment. Well, this podcast.
Like a vacation or.
Yeah. This recording, we'll have a stop and then have an end. Although there's also, I guess, the bigger, then we get to it again next week.
Yeah, but next week we'll just record again.
I also don't feel like chores. So anyway, I don't know, maybe I'm not making sense.
Yeah.
But.
Well, okay. So for business, New Year, my mind just went blank. Shit.
Well, tell me about your business this year. Like, about business this year. What are you looking forward to? What feels like the pressure? Like, what's coming up? Let's just talk 2020.
I mean, my like, so let me clarify. So there's two different threads of business, right? There's what we do together, like the Coaches Circle and this podcast, and then there's like my own coaching business. So with my own coaching business, that has kind of been on the back burner, on the shelf, whatever metaphor you want to use, for over a year now. And I've just kind of been focusing on what we've been doing together, but also just like resting and recovering. And so for 2026, I'm diving back into that. Not like full throttle, but yeah, I have an offer that I'm working on. That I'm going to be, I hate the word launch, that I'm going to be putting out there in February about emotional intelligence and like harnessing your emotional intelligence and like having a framework of just emotional intelligence through the lens of just like being embodied. And so I'm really looking forward to that because that's a topic that I really, really love talking about. And I think it's something that everybody can use, whether you work for someone else, work for yourself, whatever the case may be. For what we do together, I want to hear what you have to say first.
Well, I'm hoping that 2026 will represent growth because we had a slow start because we intentionally a slow start to the Coaches Circle, bringing really by invitation, bringing in some folks, creation. we did our first quote unquote launch, which we learned a lot from. Would I say it was in the idea that we brought in new members? No, but it was really, I think we learned a lot from it. And I think there's definitely stuff from it that was good and that we need to repeat. It's just getting more bodies in the room.
Yeah.
More humans who are interested that we can have the conversations with. But I think it was great for us to kind of pop that cherry and figure that out together of like, what does that look like? And it was in a way that actually felt pretty fun.
It was fun.
Yeah. So in 2026, I'd like to see us do it more.
Yeah. Agreed.
Practice, like to flex muscle, strength muscle, and then also hopefully begin to see some more fruits of that labor, because I would like to see our space more than double in 2026.
Yeah.
We haven't had even though this is now 2026 as this is released, we actually haven't had our 2026 planning session together yet. So
it's next week.
Yeah. This is like an early preview of that. We haven't talked about this. This is what we'll be talking about next week. But so that's my hope, is that I would like to see the show. The podcast has been unbelievable to me.
Mm-hmm.
Just the way we've had this slow, steady, continuous growth in subscriber numbers on YouTube and download numbers across the board, followers and or like whatever the listeners, followers, the people who actually like save our show so that they keep, has been growing across every platform. We just lost a subscriber on YouTube. First time we've actually had YouTube numbers go down instead of up. Not that it's a big deal, but I'm like, it's just been really fun to watch this like slow, steady all year long growth that's been truly organic. Like most of it is people just finding us because we aren't doing it. Like you've really slowed down on social media, which is fine. It's not a criticism, but the fact that it continues to continue to find us without a lot of that active outreach reminds me also that it's possible when you're doing something that you're excited about, that you believe in, that I hope is quality, that it can happen, right? You have to give time and believe in it and show up. And so it also, that what we've been doing here is informing some of how I feel about my other business, my side of my business of coaching, of just that reminder that I don't have to be on all the places. I don't have to be, that if it's good, people will find it. They'll tell each other. It will, it'll build its audience.
Yeah.
So for our shared venture, I want growth. For my personal business, which is the podcast collective, and then also the work I do with Faith, my own coaching, which is also fairly, I wouldn't say it's stagnant. It's not gone, but there's been no growth. I've just been consistent with the clients I've had. I mean, the lovely thing is my clients don't often leave because they just like to stay in community and in work with me. But I haven't been attracting a lot of new clients, and that's on me. I just haven't been trying. So this year ahead, I'm still sitting with some of that. I have a book coming that's scary, which, speaking of a book, that's another thing that I've proposed to Taina for the Messy Liberation.
Yeah.
Which is doing a similar, so my book is called Liberate Your Business, and it's going to be about bringing a lot of liberatory ideas to your business as like a small business owner. And what I've proposed to Taina, and what she's noodled on and seems so excited about, is doing a similar thing, but for coaching specifically. So it works with the coaches circle. Like, how do you liberate your coaching business? So that is something I think in 2026, I hope we explore once I get past the busyness of doing this on my own. And then I'll have lots to offer for our joint process because I'll know more. I don't know. I want to see the book sell 100 copies, which is like so small, but also not. And honestly, if just publishing it, that's the goal. Secondary goal, like that's my good goal. My better, if I sold 100 copies, and my best goal, like what feels not even possible to me, is selling like 500 copies. Cause that would mean it was going beyond just people I know. Right.
Yeah.
It's beyond my network. I think I could sell 100 copies just based on my network. 500, that's a different level, and that would be amazing, but also I don't expect it. I don't know. That's kind of, and then personally, for 2026, I want to try and continue to give myself what I need, have spaciousness in my life by going to my solo retreats, and not feeling that pressure to I don't know. Like, I love spending time with my family, but also allowing my husband and my son more time for themselves and not having the guilt about saying, hey, it's okay. You guys do that and I'll take some time.
Yeah.
That's my year. What about you for any other parts of like your personal life and or
Yeah. For the business?
Messy Liberation, because you were like, I want to know what you think. So
Yeah. Okay. So for what we do together in business, for the podcast, I you really are the one who looks at a lot of the stats. I don't look at the stats as much as you do. But I mean, but you're thinking podcasts all the time because also you have the podcast collective. So that's like always like top of mind for you. But so I have been pleased with like how it feels like a slow blooming flower, right? Like it's just steadily growing. And I love also just like the pace that we have for it, like where there isn't this pressure to like do certain things or show up in a certain way. So I'm excited to just continue doing that. And I'm excited for the Everything is Political series,
And me too.
which we had originally planned to kick off like first thing in the new year, but it's
It's
looking
not
like
gonna.
February. We'll see. We'll see. But
Yeah.
it'll happen this year for sure.
Yeah.
It'll happen this year for sure. So I'm excited for that. And just to talk to different people about what that looks like in different areas of our lives. And so I think that'll be really a really interesting conversation series that we'll be having. For the coaches circle, it was a lot of fun doing the hard launch. Like you said,
I bet neither of us had done well, especially you, because you've been taking a little more time. It's been a while since you've probably really had a
yeah,
real launch like that. I mean, I
yeah.
guess I had done the summit, so I had done a launch, but beyond that, I hadn't done a lot of launching. So I had two kind of launch moments,
This year, yeah, or last year.
bigger ones, and I haven't done a lot of that. So yeah, it's just fun to like flex the muscle again and experiment.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it was also fun because it was something that I wasn't doing on my own. Like we were doing it together.
Friend, that has been the biggest lesson of 2025 for me.
Like
And
just stop doing shit alone.
I don't want to do shit alone. Shit
Yeah.
alone sucks. I think
It
that's
does.
why my coaching business has been a bit more stagnant, because it has been something that even though I work with client and I like that part, so the continuing to work with clients I'm doing, but the marketing part of it feels it's sucky doing marketing
Yeah.
alone. I don't like it. I don't
Yeah,
like it.
it is. It is. It is. And so I am on board with like the coaches circle at least doubling, if not more this year. But I'm also looking forward to the launches. Again, the process was just fun doing it together. And so I'm just looking forward to that, like doing that again and just like reiterating and like tweaking it, and like that feels like it feels like a creative kind of project that is an easier lift than like starting something from scratch or doing it on your own or whatever. Personally,
You're going to be looking forward to fewer doggy challenges.
yeah, it'll be, it's
I know. That's
it'll
one of
be
those
sad. It'll be sad, but it'll be quiet or more quiet because my wife talks 24/7, even in her sleep.
That's
But
my
it'll
kid.
it'll save us a little bit of money and it'll also the house won't always smell like dog. When you have dogs, it's just kind of hard for your living space to just not smell like dog all the time. And so it's just a
Especially
thing.
as they age and certain breeds
Yeah.
too. Our
Yeah.
box, forget it. The house smelled like dog.
Yeah. Yeah. There is definitely an area rug that we will have to get rid of.
We moved one to the garage because of that, and then realized, no, it can't be there either because then the garage started to smell like piss, and we're like, nope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah. I'm also just looking forward to like personally just kind of having more like emotional and mental capacity to like connect with people that I've known for a while, but also maybe make some new friends along the way.
Well, you've been putting yourself out there more too. You've been doing IRL, like connecting and showing
Yeah,
up.
I have my writing group that I go to every Monday night, which has been fun. This is something I'm really looking forward to actually. So like because I've also just been dabbling back into writing, I have been working on multi-chapter like fanfic. And so I have like 50K words written already that I've been editing.
That's like a full-on book, friend.
I know. And I'm not
Probably
even
more
like a
words than
third of
my
the
book
way
will end up
through.
having because my book is like so chopped up that it's
Yeah.
not going to be. That's amazing.
Yeah. And I'm like halfway through chapter 6. So I'm not even like a third of the way through. So I'm looking forward to my goal is to hopefully by the time this is aired to have like the first 3 chapters already published on AO3 and then just start doing like weekly or bi-monthly updates.
Will it be under your name, or would they be, like if people wanted to find it, can they search Taina on AO3 or?
Hell no.
Are you going to tell people what your pen name is, or they're just going to have to
Oh
know?
my God. I don't know if
No,
I want
that's
to
it.
do that.
or maybe you want to keep thinking about it. I'm just curious, like, how public are you going to be about what you're
I
publishing?
will say this. If you want more information on that, you can follow my Bookstagram, and it's Taina Reads.
Taina Reads. Okay.
Yeah. So you can follow me there to get information on it. But I don't
Perfect.
think I will
That's a
give
great thing,
away
because if
my
somebody takes the energy to do that, then that means maybe they actually want to know, or they
yeah,
reach out to you. If
yeah,
they do that, then you might
yeah,
share. I think
yeah.
that's fair.
So there would be NSFW stuff on my Booksta, but also just like fluffy stuff that is just cute. So
I
yeah,
love it. I love it.
yeah.
Okay. And I want to end this with like sappiness. I am so honored to get to do this with you. I'm so glad you said yes when I proposed it, because I don't know that we'd known each other a while, but not that long and not that deeply. And so yes to doing this, and I love the way it's been evolving and like blossoming, like you said. And I'm just really honored to get to share space with you and have these conversations, and then like have it also lead to doing business together. And like, I'm just very lucky, and as always continuing to learn from you. If you ever say yes, I haven't gotten your yes back yet, but if you send your approval, you'll be in the book along with other people who've really taught me. Faith Clark is in the book, and she's approved hers. Jordan is in the book. Jordan Maney, she approved hers. Amelia Ruby, Kelly Deals, just some of the people I've been learning from. And you're definitely probably the person I'm learning the most, you and Faith, because I spend the most time and space with
Mhm.
you. I learned so much. And so I just am really honored and grateful and all that sappy stuff. I'm not a real sappy
Yeah.
person. There you go.
Oh, thank you, friend. I am too.
And it's continue in 2026.
This has been such a unexpected turn of a sequence of events with you. And so I'm not typically the person to like initiate a lot of things. So I'm very thankful that that you initiate a
Thank
lot.
you.
Yeah.
I need that reassurance, because sometimes I wonder, because I am an initiator, I'm an activator by strengths or whatever. And I'm a person I love to start things and get things going. And I do sometimes wonder if my golden retriever energy, as I call it, like that
Is it
excitable.
too much?
Right, like, yeah, I often feel like I'm way too much for people. I've been, as most women have been told, I'm too much throughout life. So it's just very nice to hear, like, no, I appreciate you instigating, because I always
Yeah.
sometimes, because, you worry, is somebody gonna feel guilty? Are they doing it because they want to, or because I've pressured them, or they feel
Yeah.
guilty? So thank you for that.
Yeah, no, you're so welcome. You're not too much. And I thankfully, because of therapy, have learned
Um,
to be like, I need a minute to think about that. That's a great idea, but let me think about it. Oh, and so I think that creates a really healthy dynamic between the two of us. And hopefully in 2026, we can actually meet in person
oh my gosh, wouldn't that be amazing?
because we've never met up in person.
I know, I know, I know. There's a podcast event in New York in 2026, but I
When?
think the problem is I think it's winter, and I don't think it's summer. If it's the summer, I love New York in the summer,
Hmm.
even though I know that's when a lot of New Yorkers flee because they think it's too hot. But I prefer to go. I don't really love New York in the winter. It's just too cold,
Hmm.
and I don't want to deal with traveling when there's ice and snow.
Yeah.
But if it's a summer event, I might want to go. And that's not, I mean, it's not like that's next door to you, but at least it gets us closer to a coast.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Or who knows? My dad is now living near Atlanta, so maybe we can meet in Atlanta sometime. Who
Yeah.
knows?
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
It would be cool.
I'll put it on my vision board. I'm not making a vision board this year. That's a lie. But if I did, in my mental, I
You're
do love
setting
a
the
vision
intention
board.
out there.
Yeah. I love a vision board. I haven't done one this year. Do you do vision boards?
No, I used to. I haven't done one in a long time.
They do feel a little like white lady Insta, like, to me, in a way, but also there is something nice about it. Like, not so much the board itself, but like the process,
The process of
the
setting
way it makes
intention.
you think. Yeah, it just makes you think a little bigger for yourself, or explore, or
Yeah.
like get in touch with what do you really want. That part of it I like.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
maybe we should
Yeah.
do one.
I
That'd be
agree.
fun.
I
Our
agree.
plan.
I agree.
Well, I look forward to our planning session for 2026. I look forward to 2026. And thank you. That's it. Thank
Thank
you.
you. Yeah. And thank y'all for listening and being with us.
For realsies. And we don't do this enough, but I really think we should try to remember to give a holler at your keyboard moment, as another group I'm in.
Yes. Leave us a comment or rate a review, share with a friend.
Any of that. Or let us know. Like, I'd love to hear from people. What did you learn from the show in 2025? What was your favorite part of
What was your
the
favorite
show?
episode? Yeah.
What do you want to see more of in 2026? That kind of stuff is super, super helpful. We should have done this at the start of the episode because by the end of the episode, people are tuned out. If you've stuck around for this part, then please
Yeah.
leave a comment if you're on
real
YouTube.
one. If you're still listening,
Spotify
you're
and
the real
YouTube, you
one.
can leave comments. If not, if you're on Apple, leave a review.
Yeah.
Any of those things help. All right.
We want to hear from you.
Yes. Have a wonderful 2026. Let's all do this, guys. See you later. Okay.
Thanks for listening to Messy Liberation.
Thank you so much for your support and for listening today.
Until next time.